Welcome. This is Afrique 24, and this is your 24-hour channel whereby we give you the best analysis when it comes to sports and news all over the world. And of course, some of the top stories that we have today is Inspector General, that is Masengeli, being left aside as we have new Inspector General, that is Kanja. Kanja has been endorsed and now is going to be the next Inspector General. This is after Masengeli had some of the issues, and I think these are some of the issues that really affected him. So we're waiting to see what is the other step forward. What do you see about Masengeli? Is Masengeli being politicized? But remember, some of the leaders in Western, the likes of Caleb Amisi, saying that Masengeli is being politicized because he is qualified, but now he has been given that bench because he was found not the one to be the inspector general. So Kanja is the one now who has been approved by the parliament to lead the police. That is, he is the inspector general. And again, we have the strikes that happened in Pwani. Pwani, the had a strike, that is the workers in Pwani. They are having strikes. So what do you see about Pwani? Like education system in our country has been poor since the time when Ruto and Uhuru took over the government. Because I remember the time when Ruto and Ruto took over the government, there were a lot of things that were happening in this country when it comes to education. People were getting free education. There was free services, and I remember during my time when I was in school, there is a time when we used to have free food that is delivered by the government. But nowadays you can see even parents are allowed to take food for their children at school. So this shows that education has really changed. Education has really changed, and it is that time that people in this country realize that education is going down. And this is President William Ruto together with the new CS, that is Ogamba, that is someone who is responsible for making sure that education in this country goes to the higher level. We remember during the time when Matiang'i was the CS for education. You also remember during the time when Matiang'i was the CS, we had Magoa, and now we had Ezekiel Machogu. You know, during those times, you can just weigh who was the perfect match for education system because you can see universities are even striking, secondary schools are even setting ablaze the dormitories. So you can just tell that education is not in good terms, that we should make something go straight when it comes to this education sector, because education is very key for any country. Because if you are not learned, then we are not going to have those skills coming properly. So remember, this is a Freak 24, and of course, if you're following the conversation, you can join us through the comment section there. Tell us where you're following the conversation from. Tell us what is your view about the education system in our country. As we discuss some of the top stories, in Mount Kenya, there is always a fight that these leaders are fighting on who is going to be the next kingpin. These leaders are fighting on who is going to be the top leader in Mount Kenya. Others have endorsed Kindiki. Others are saying that Kindiki is not the one. A lot of fights are ongoing, but we are waiting to see the end results. The end results is who is going to be the next kingpin on Mount Kenya. I was listening to Gadhani Mochomba today speaking in one of the media houses, and she was saying that if we parade Kithure Kindiki together with Gachagua and we allow the Kenyans to align so that they can show love for their leader, then Kithure Kindiki will be far away from Rigathi Gachagua. This means that Gachagua has that high influence of power compared to Kithure Kindiki. So we are waiting to see what is going to happen and what is your view about Mount Kenya region. Still, Mount Kenya has been having several leaders, and it is during this time when these leaders are now getting to know that Mount Kenya is one of the areas that determine where and when someone can win election. So if you want to win the election, Kalonzo, If you want to win the election in Eastern region, just join the Mount Kenya, join the other parts of Lake region, and this is when you will know that Mount Kenya has that influence from the political leaders. And of course, today we heard some of the speeches from senators in the Senate. That is when IG, that is Inspector General Kanja, was being approved by the Senate. That is by the Parliament. So a lot of things happened today, but we are going to discuss some of the top stories. As you know, that under 17 has been flagged off for Dominican Republic. That is under 17 World Cup happening in matters concerning sports. You know, UEFA Champions League is underway, and day 2 we had Man City finishing goalless together with Inter Milan. We had other teams playing tonight, and we will be giving you all those in Africa 24. Remember to always like, comment, and subscribe. So I was listening to a speech that was given by one of the leaders in this country, and he was a former governor in Kiambu. I want us to listen to what he had to say, because he talked some of strong words there, that if you are political personnel, then you can know that things are not good in Mount Kenya region.
Bwana Kano na Vika ambaye wako hapa na leaders wale wako hapo na waumini wa hii kanisa wote, na sisi tukiongozwa na deputy president, former president na waziri na viongozi ya Jeremia. God is good and all the time. Mother ya Joshua tuendelee tusiarera ile nile nije ta kwa baba yao mtu wako ya Kiambu ndari wakabete ndari gavana kule Kiambu ndake na muno nuko kaitura riri goko tuko kwa mshele yeye muno na yeye muri ya gale otherwise ni kwake na muno muno moto kabisa. Mimi ni mmoja wale walikuwa wakifanyia UDA campaign. Mimi ni wale ambaye tulikuwa kwa campaign pale mbele ya UDA. Mimi ndio tutakwenda campaign ya kuchagua William Ruto. Sasa ile tulikuwa tunamchagua, mkumbuke alikuwa anakuja na Biblia. Kama mtu mzuri sana, mwokovu kabisa. Lakini baada ya uchaguzi immediately sijui tulibadilishiwa, sijui alitoa ngozi ile alikuwa naye akaweka ngozi nyingine, kwa sababu alianza uongo day 1, akadanganya mahaslas wote, hawakupata kitu. Mama mboga hawakupata kitu, kama namna gani, boda boda hawakupata kitu. Haya, watu ya kanisa hao wenyewe pia si walidanganywa, na sisi viongozi pia tukadanganywa. Bei ya maisha ile watu walikuwa wanatarajia itaenda chini, ikapanda juu. Ikawa sasa hata kusomesha watoto ni shida kubwa. Wale watoto ambao walikuwa wanamaliza university wakiwa interns, madaktari, kuandikwa na serikali sasa hakuna. Walimu pia interns, simuliano wali JSS, si walishindwa na kuandikwa na serikali. Nitraje? Alafu imagine katika male maneno alikuwa ametuariza, alikuwa amesema hakutakuwa na vifo holela holela, hati hakutakuwa na watu wanauliwa na askari ovyo ovyo. Juzi mliona vijana walitokea wakiwa na simu na maji, wakisema serikali itengenezwe, ndio hao walipigwa risasi, wengi wakauawa. Si ndio mnakumbuka? Sio maneno hata saa hii bado wanatafuta vijana wao. Sasa sisi tukiangalia hivi tumekuwa very bitter, na sisi tuna regret sana kwa nini tulichagua Ruto kama president. Kusema ukweli, ndio ni mrake ndio ngosio ni mrake ndio nikio, ndio kwa maana Sisi ambaye tulikuwa pande ile yake ya UDA, sisi tulipiga about time, tukaenda kwa yule ambaye alikuwa na Kibaki. Ile serikali ambayo iliongozwa vizuri, ikaisha vizuri. Si mnakumbuka ni mheshimiwa huyu wako hapa? Former President Kalonzo Musyoka, si ndio? Na yeye anajua vile serikali inaongozwa. Wacha kusoma kwa vitabu, yule ambaye anajua practical za hiyo kuendesha. Si ndio? Sasa waliendesha na kijana wa Malwa kwanza. Na si ndugu yake ndio huyu, Eugene wa Malwa. Si ni watu ya Kibaki? Kama naona gani? Kanade. Neguo. Eti ya mwana, eto ya mwana na Kibaki. Na thirikari magitokoria wega. Leo turenda twihokere haria turorete 2027. Twihokere muthuri uyu atongorie bururi, tugie na thirikari njega ya mundu uyu kuruta wira uria wagirire. Nitumbithania. Ndio mugwetekera huko. Sisi tumeona juzi hii serikali wamekuwa very frustrated. Wakiona ati watu wote wa Mount Kenya wamehama kwa serikali sasa, wanataka kugawa kura na kuharibu kura za Mount Kenya hicho. Na ndio umeona wameanza kugawanyisha wajumbe. Ati wengine waende pande hii na wengine waende east na wengine ati waende west. Na mkikumbuka hao ambao wanagawanywa ni wale walikuwa wamepiga kura ya yes kwa ile financial bill, wakikataa maneno ya wananchi. Mradi sasa sisi kama watu wa Kiambu na Nairobi na Mount Kenya yote tukubaliane kitu moja. Hao watu wote ambaye wanakubali kugawanyisha mlima 2027 waende nyumbani. Tunakubaliana? Ndio wajenge na manduke. Asho bana na mwananchi. Kwa hivyo sisi wote tunasema wacha mlima iendelee vile ilikuwa, iliwachwa na mheshimiwa Kenyatta ikiwa mlima moja, ikawachwa na mheshimiwa Kibaki ikiwa mlima moja, ikawachwa na mheshimiwa Uhuru Muigai wa Kenyatta ikiwa mlima moja, na sasa hakuna kitu mpya imekuja ila tu makosa ya kuchagua William Ruto. Na kwa hivyo sisi watu ya mlima tutaendelea kuwa mlima moja, si ndio? Halafu tutaungana sisi watu wa Mount Kenya ile ya zamani, tutaungana na watu wetu wa Gema vile Kenyatta alikuwa ameanzisha, ambaye ni jamii ya Wakamba. Ndio waiteke eti amoje wao hayo mtu ndio amuthoniwe kanatya ndio bana ya ko hiyo leo hebu tironire oyo wagethie kunyitithania na kuria nigetha tuigwo kando 41 against 1 uhoro wa hiyo mundu athia gwetha muthoniwe ndio kwa twetha muthoni witu ndio kwa twetha muthoni witu tuhaiwo kwa iguru ria marenda muthoni witu okay tutaithania nake. Thank you so much. Mungu awabariki sana.
That is a former Kiambu governor, that is Ferdinand Watitu, saying that the Mount Kenya was strong during Kenyatta time. He also said that they gave Rigathi Gachagua that mandate to make sure that the Mount Kenya is strong. But now they are complaining that they don't have that direct access to the government. That the linkages that they had during the times of Kenyatta, Uhuru, they are not there. So they want to get someone who is going to make sure that they have that direct link together with the president. So I don't know what is so good with the direct link with the president, and yet the president can see and the president can work for you the same way he is working for the other regions, not only Mount Kenya. The president will be giving services to the Rift Valley, to North Kenya, and also the coast part of Kenya. So I don't understand what they say about direct access to the government. If you're following the comment section there, you can tell us what do they mean by accessing the government directly. And yet you can speak, the government will listen, and you can even follow what the government is saying. So they want to get that direct access. What does he mean by accessing this government directly? Like, what do they mean by accessing it directly? That is Governor Waititu. And Waititu was there. He has been in government for a long time, but still Waititu is in politics. But this fight for Mount Kenya is always tough. These people have been fighting for a long time. This is because Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, during the time when Uhuru Muigai together with William Samuel Ruto were in power, they did not endorse someone for this Mount Kenya. That is why now you can see they are trying to endorse other leaders, that likes of Kithure Kindiki. Kithure Kindiki has been there. Still, they are saying that he is the right person, but other leaders have declined that Kithure Kindiki is not the one who should lead this Mount Kenya region. They are saying that Mount Kenya needs someone who is perfect. I was listening again to Gathoni Mushomba saying that when you compare Gachagua together with Kithure Kindiki, then you know that Kindiki has a long way to go. He should just step by step so that he can get that quality that is being possessed by Rigathi Gachagua. But we're waiting to see if by 2027 Gachagua will step down and allow them to go and be, for example, the deputy and also to be the next king of Mount Kenya. Because you can see 2027 is still close. And as you heard the opposition saying, that is led by Kalonzo Musyoka, the opposition was saying that instead of Ruto and Gachagua vying for also performing for this country, they are doing campaigns for 2027. And it is high time that they do what they promise in the manifesto. It is high time that they do what the people of Kenya are requesting. But still, they are campaigning. So I think this is high time that they will just have that in their mind, because 2027 is so close for general election. Are they going to win this election? And you can see the Kenyans have given a U-turn. The storm has now cooled down. We had the Gen Z devolution. We had people complaining about the government, but now they have relaxed. So what is the next step? I have seen Kasamuel together with Osoro. Those are the leaders who are close to William Ruto. Kasamuel, you know, he has been an activist. At the end of the day, you will benefit from the government. We saw Osama benefiting from the government during the Twitter space. Now you have seen, I've seen social media having a lot of conversation that Kasmuel has joined the government, because Kasmuel being linked together with Osoro, this shows how he has been close to the government, and it's now the hand of Kasmuel. And he declared himself as a Gen Z leader, although the Gen Z were saying that they don't have a leader. Zelendo, I can see you here. Tell us where you joined the conversation and what is your view about Gachagua and Kithure Kindiki head-to-head collision, of course.
Uh, thank you, Bonnie. I am joining you from Virginia, USA. So I just wanted to uh, go back to your topic where um, you are saying Gachagua. I didn't quite grasp what you are saying about Gachagua, but what I have in mind is a bit different. It's that Kenyans are being taken to the same game Mr. William Ruto played with Uhuru um, in the last general elections. There's no rift between William Ruto and Gachagua, and I need you to explain to me what the rift is. If you cannot explain to me why William Ruto hates Gachagua, then believe you me, in 2027, in 2020, in 2027, these people are going to work together. Of course, William Ruto has got a lot to lose. You cannot bank on another voting bloc that you don't know whether they are really going to vote for you. William Ruto's bet for re-election lies on central Kenya. If he can't get the central Kenya vote, then he knows very well that he's on his way out, because there's a lot of formation, a lot of politics going on right now. People have not just come out to say they want the top seat, but the president is kind of confused. He is using the tribal metrics to try and galvanize his support. So he has been to Nyanza, he has been to Western, he has been to Nyanza, he has been to a bit of Central Province, he has been to Coast Province. So it is the old tactic that the former president, the late Daniel Arap Moi, used to have, divide and rule. If you see Kasumuel in government, I will not be surprised, because what Ruto is doing is to divide the Gen Z vote. There will be a sizable Gen Z who are going to vote for him. That is no doubt about it. The meetings that he's having with the universities and all that is all geared towards ensuring that he gets this voting bloc. Remember, the Gen Zs are the biggest factor in 2027 elections. They have not got their act together, meaning that they are not really acting as per their to run in 2027. Because one, they don't have a leader to guide them. This was working during the demonstrations, but now they need a structure, they need a leader, they need a political vehicle that they will move on with towards 2027. Now, seemingly, it is broken into small fragments. Those fragments, you'll see them in government, others will see them in Kalonzo, others will see them following Raila Odinga and all that. So that is good for the sitting president. So long as they are not united, so long as they are not thinking of forming government or changing the government structure. By that I mean the presidency is not the main issue. The main issue here are institutions that are not working. The EACC, the police, the judiciary is now trying to sharpen its teeth a bit. You saw the other day the IG being sentenced to 6 months in jail. We am waiting to see whether his security details has been withdrawn by Kindiki, his boss, and Kindiki should hand over the IG to prison. So those are some of the things that we are looking at right now. Are the institutional changes that ought to happen? Remember, we have also IBC, which is supposed to be formed by the two political parties, the two major political parties, or the three. This again is another way of dictating what the Kenyan people want. Some of these leaders are dictators. Raila Odinga, William Ruto are all dictators. What they are doing at the moment is to try and come up with an IBC that is convenient for them, convenient for one Gachagua. So every time you mention Gachagua, Gachagua is living in the past. We are not in the Mau Mau era. We are in the 21st century where we need leaders who are going to sell policies. He's not going to be a president of Central Province. He's going to be a president of the Republic of Kenya. Until he gets that right, he is not sellable beyond River Chania. So Gachagua needs to get his act right. He needs to. That's why I am telling you, the issue of Gachagua and Ruto is a script. It's a drama. It is an entertainment that we are being taken through what happened between William Samoei Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta. Remember, anybody you ask today, the reason why William Ruto and Uhuru split, they will not give you definite answer. The reason why Gachagua is feeling frustrated, he will not give you an answer. Even before Raila came in the mix, Gachagua was already disgruntled. He already started, having his own issues with the leadership. And this is to engage us so that we can forget the real issues affecting Kenya. We have real issues that are affecting Kenya. The issue is one, unemployment. Another is the high cost of living, the high cost of rent, uh, poor infrastructure in most of the counties, where we have county leaders who are embezzling funds. The Auditor General report was just out the other day. No leader is talking about the Auditor General's report. Most of these counties have embezzled billions and billions of shillings. Nobody is coming to talk about it. Mbadi was appointed the other day. He's saying that we don't have money in treasury. While he was on the other side, he was saying that there is a lot of money. There was a lot of money in government. It's only that we don't, money is being wasted in corruption. Now he's in the driving seat. He doesn't know what to do. Now, this is the biggest problem that Kenya is having. If you are putting somebody, put a technocrat who has got a record, people like John Mbadi, people like the people who are given jobs the other day as CSS, they have no track record. They have no track record to show that they managed anything effectively and efficiently so that it can be given trillions of Kenya shillings to manage our country. So some of these issues we need to really scrutinize. We need to talk about them each and every day until we find an amicable solution for our country. But we cannot sleep. We cannot watch. Now everybody has gone back to watching what the government is going to do next. Remember this, the power is in the vote that we're going to cast in 2027. That is a make or break vote. If you want the status quo to continue, it will just continue the way the political establishment in Kenya is at the moment. Bonnie, I've got a lot to say, but thank you. I think I will land there with my point. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mzalendo, and that was a nice capture of what is happening in this country in terms of politics. And I think you have explained to us more about the politics in this country and how Kenyans will never benefit from the government. You know, Kenyans have been having hopes for every kind of government that comes. We had hopes for Kibaki government. That is the government that I remember. You know, I was not there for during Moi's time. I saw Kenyans happy for Moi, and also I saw Kenyans happy for Ruto government. Now we have Ruto government. So do you think that we are going to have this hopes again, or it is high time now we say Luwere? That is,
Let me say that Ruto had a good plan in his campaign. He had his messaging was quite okay. The only where he failed in his messaging is that he talked about bottom up. There's no way you can bring people who are down their economy up without taxing the political base that is up here. The capitalists who are up there, it should have been trickle down. So trickle down economy that is what where they got their messaging wrong. That it means that the people who are on top there, the money that is on top there with the government trickles down to the people at the bottom. That is exactly what he meant, and it's a borrowed idea, but he could not really follow it up through. And what you see in Kenya and in Africa is the greed of the African politician. They want to eat and eat and eat and eat until they I don't know. So Bonnie, I don't know why your camera is off. You need to come back on the stage. Yeah, they need to eat, or you're eating also. Bonnie, are you eating? So some of these things you are seeing is very very sad. When Gen Zs pushed Ruto to the wall and they came up with the changes that they wanted, it was a good opportunity for him to change things in government. So I had hoped that he is going to take that opportunity to change a lot of things in government. But he didn't take the opportunity. Instead, he called his brother Raila Odinga to help him stabilize the government. Yeah, so when he called Raila Odinga, now Ruto is back on the rooftops campaigning for 2027, launching projects which you've seen Morara debunking some of those projects that he's launching. So he's busy launching a lot of projects. Now, what Kenyans need to understand, Mr. President, and if you're listening, care to listen and listen carefully. Your projects will sell. You don't have to announce them. You don't have to come out on the rooftop telling us that you've done ABCD. You do them silently. Make sure that they stand out. If they're stadium, people will see what you've done. But each and every time, tumewapatia, tumewafanya nini, that is not selling so well, and it is perhaps your weakest point. This is perhaps your weakest point. If you're a good leader, then people will see from your record. Now we have a referendum with you in 2027. We will look at what you've done for the people of Kenya in 2027. If you've done a lot of nothing, then it's time for you to go home. But Kenyans need to be more vigilant. Kenyans need to participate in in the process. The process means that we have got leaders who are enablers of bad governance, from right from your MCA to your MP to your governor. The system is rotten. Quite a small percentage of them can be elected fairly, and the electoral process in Kenya is now for the rich. The rich people are the ones who are able to go to the ballot and bribe the voters and come back to power. So there's a lot of civic education that needs to be done. So Bonnie, if you have got this platform, you need to do a lot of civic education for the people, and especially when it comes to matters of election, because the youth today, the old men, are being bribed for positions in Senate, in Parliament, and it is happening all over the country. And so a poor man with good policies cannot be elected in Kenya today. So we need to really emphasize on policy. We need to emphasize on good governance, and we need also to emphasize on track record. Show us what you've done. Show us where you've been. If you have been Jamawa wash somewhere, then you don't deserve to be a leader in Kenya.
Zalendo is saying that if you have been a wash, then you don't deserve to be a leader. Show us your moves in silent way. Let Kenyans realize what you are doing, but not you just going everywhere launching projects without mission being accomplished. Today, we had a lot of things happening in this country, and one thing that really shocked a lot of people is Inspector General, that is Kanja, being approved by the parliament. I really hope, Zalando, you have been following what happened our parliament. Masengeli, after all those things that are following him, people were saying that Masengeli is like he is being politicized because they thought that he is qualified for the position. But now we saw that they approved Kanja. So there is a lot of politics in that position. But we are following up to know what is the end of those politics in the Inspector General position in the country Kenya. We had a lot of things happening, and I was listening to what Senator Nyonga was saying, and he was questioning Dr. Alfred Mutua with tough question, whereby Mutua could not even afford to answer some of them.
Because my colleagues seem to be
Order, honorable
consulting.
members, can we hear Senator Onyonka in silence, please?
Thank you. CS, I am happy to see you here today because I know you as a friend of mine and somebody I've worked with before. I'm actually going to ask a very simple question. If you remember when you started talking about the declaration of the provision of information, and you brought in the data protection law. When I walked in, that is actually what you said. You said that it's not possible for you to avail information so that we can know who has received social protection money. The reason for that, CS, is because the people of Kisii County that I represent have been asking me to give them the names of the people from the wards all the way to the sub-counties. How many people does the Kenyan government provide finances to or pay the monthly stipend to from all our wards and all our sub-counties? CS, I believe that the law doesn't stop you, because essentially the argument you're making is that you cannot disclose that information, and I believe that could also be the clever way on how you're trying to justify and say that you can't give us the names of the people who have gotten jobs ever since the government started signing the bilateral agreements. CS, we want that list. The reason why we want that list is that Kenyans, we have a bad habit. When we are given an opportunity to look for things which we call Kenyan, we only share them with our tribes and our friends, our cousins and our families. That list is the one which will show the equity, the fairness and the distribution of those jobs that you are giving out there. So the first question I wanted to ask you is, can you please promise this House that you're going to provide that list, and it will be a genuine list, and it will be an honest list? Number two, and Madam Chair, I really got confused because when I came in, there was a wonderful question that Senator Kavindu had raised, and this had to do with the Kenyans because this is a matter she's held personally. The question I wanted to ask the CS is that does he think, and I could suggest that, Your Honorable, you could engage with with the Chief Secretary Musalia. Do you think, or don't you think, that as we sit in this House, that it is actually us as a country, we are busy complaining how the American government has never compensated Kenyans who are injured from the bomb blast which took place. But the reality is, it is our responsibility as leadership in this country to make sure that this House can pronounce itself so that even when the Americans are busy in court trying to figure out this issue, don't you think that as Kenyans we need to compensate our people who died and the people who actually were blown up during that bomb blast which took place in Nairobi? I think, Madam Chair, Madam Speaker, we've been extremely irresponsible and casual the way we handle this matter. And lastly, I want to ask the CS, I hope he can...
Honorable Senators, you are actually supposed to ask just one question.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I will stand down, Madam Chair. Thank you so much.
CS?
Thank you very much, Senator Nyong.
That is a motion that was going, and there is always a fight. You know, in Kenya, there is this situation whereby it's like we don't have job opportunity, but we are seeking for opportunities in abroad. the likes of Germany, the likes of USA, the likes of England, and the government has promised that they are going to give us those opportunities. So that is why Senator Onyonga is asking those tough questions. And Dr. Alfred Mutua was there and wanted to respond, but the questions were so tough. Actually, I remember the Madam Speaker muting his mic because the way he was responding the questions was contrary to what Senator Onyonga wanted. So this is a tough debate. Muzalendo, do you think that we don't have opportunities in this country? What do you think we can do so that we can get those opportunities back? Because I think in
You,
Kenya we have opportunities.
you see, Kenya is not creating, Kenya is not manufacturing anything. For a country's economy to grow, we have to have industries which are functioning. We have to have industries either by the private sector expanding. The same industries that you saw when you are growing up. If you grow up in the city, tell me the industries that you know, Mr. Boni. How many industries do you know since you've been in the city? How many industries do you know?
I know many
I want you to mention only three or two.
industries. I know Devic, I know ceramics, I know Saj.
Yes, you know Saj Ceramics. Saj Ceramics in Athi River, the ones that deal with the tiles and all that. It's owned by Indians. So majorly, that is an Indian company that is established here in Kenya. That is not a Kenyan company. If you look at it, you know Da Vinci, you mentioned those are Indians also that have invested here. I want a Kenyan company that we know of, that this is our identity. This is our identity as in Kenya. This is a company that that we know that is Kenyan. It has an identity of Kenya. When we were growing up, we had Unilever. Unilever, I think, was something that the government owned some shares in it, and it had an international identity and a local identity. So where did it go? We have a company like Unga Limited. Unga Limited, how is it really expanding or it is shrinking? Yeah. So we look at those industries that you grew up. We have the 80s.
Mumias Sugar.
Yeah, Bumia Sugar. Those are some of the projects that the government keeps on pumping money, yet it does not yield much. I can tell you the money that has been pumped in Mumia's Sugar Company is enough to create employment for over 500,000 youths ever since the saga of Mumia's Sugar started. It is enough to revive the economy of a country. Yeah. So some of these companies that we see are not expanding. They are not expanding. So companies need to expand. We need to see such ceramics expanding to Kisumu. That is when you see that there is a growth in the company. We need to see is those companies expanding further to northeastern. Then you see that there is an expansion. Look at the land utilization in northeastern. If the government has got no idea of what they want to do to revive the economy of Kenyans, then they should mark some. They should buy land or use. We used to have the land called land for agricultural development, the ADC lands. They need to expand those lands such that they tilt them, they grow crops, they irrigate them, and this will employ many, many youths. So imagine the employment, what Ruto is securing in Germany are jobs like farm workers. Kenyans going to work in farms in Germany. Ya umepanda ndege unakuja kufanya kazi kwa shamba huku Ujerumani. Yet we have got land in Kenya that is not is very very fertile and can produce a lot of can produce a lot of jobs, yeah, uh, and inject a lot of money into the economy if there is proper planning. So why do we need to export labor to other countries? So this is a kind of situation. And what are they doing? What are the government doing in order to ensure that the labor market is expanding? What is the data of the unemployed youths in Kenya? We need to see that data. That data is what is so important, because whatever is being taken to Germany or to any other country is just a drop in the ocean. The government needs to work with the data. They need to work with the number of people who are not employed and are graduates and the kind of jobs that they need to create. Yeah, the other time we heard that Amazon is coming to Nairobi. When you invite a company like Amazon to come to Kenya, yeah, that is an opportunity for people who want to do works in their warehouse and all that. Yes, but this is an American company, and all the profits goes back to the US. Or you understand? So we need a company that has been started, even if it is for motor vehicle assembly. Uganda, our neighbors here, are already assembling their own vehicle. Uganda, tayari they are assembling their own vehicle. Here we are still pondering on how we are going to export labor to the Middle East. What jobs are there in the Middle East that Kenyans need to go and do in the Middle East? Ni kazi gani hizo ziko huko? We need to expand. We need to look at the opportunities that are there. The opportunities in Kenya are a lot in the hospitality industry. There's a lot of opportunity, but we killed the tourism sector, so nobody is getting employed. Yeah, when you see companies coming in, just as Gypsy Corner is saying there, it is modern day slavery. You work for them, but the profit goes back to their country. The profit goes back to their country. Ruto's government has failed to open up the economy of Kenya to investors. Yes, you can open up to investors, but you can safeguard not opening the airport like JKIA and all that to investors. Open up the energy sector. Open up Kenya Power. Open up to somebody who can bring alternative power to compete with the Kenya Power. But they can't. They don't want to do that because the politician is the one who controls the shares in Kenya Power. Open up water provision so that people can have alternative water. Open up that for people for companies to come and supply water in the rural areas. Open up that market to people. Invite investors so that they can come and supply water in this area. This will create jobs for the people. You get that?
He's saying that Mzalendo is saying that this one will create jobs for the people. I can see Gibbs Corner in the comment section there together with Awesome. They are saying that I wonder sometimes why some panelists somewhere are against working outside the country.
Now let me answer Osam. I think he's referring to me. Now, we have worked in the country. We have worked in Kenya before. It's not that we have not worked in Kenya before. We have worked there. We have done whatever we needed to do in our country. When you see people working in the US, there are so many people work abroad. Either they are experts in different fields. Some are UN employees. Some are working with IMF. Others are have come here to study, and in the event they got a job. Others came to explore as tourists, and in the event they ended up marrying an American and all that, and they ended up in the job market here. So uh, that is not a reason. That is not a reason. Just the same way you'll find Americans in Kenya. They came, they fell in love with Kenya, they have stayed in Kenya. We have people like Michael Joseph, who works in Kenya, but he's an American. So some of these, the issues that people are talking about, that some of these people are abroad and all that. We can't all be in Kenya trying to fight for the little resources that are there. We need to spread uh, we need to spread our wings, yeah. So kama mzalendo hayuko Kenya, then that opportunity can go to somebody else, and that is maybe that is what Ruto is looking for as a shortcut. Toa hao vijana nje wafanye kazi, but at the same time, it's not a solution. And why I'm saying it's not a solution, look at we immigrants, the kind of life that we live in wherever we are. And let me tell you, being at home is a different thing. Being in your country is so different, like compared to being in a foreign land. Here, you are treated like an outsider. You are treated like an outsider. You are not treated like one of them, and we should know that. You should all know that. Look at what is happening in Germany. I wonder why Ruto is even saying that Kenyans should go to Germany. Germany itself already is saying that they don't want foreigners to come to their country. Just the other day, they are saying that these foreigners are getting the jobs that are meant for the locals. So no leader would want a foreigner to come back to their country. Just you can imagine us what we did. We invited the Somalis. Now they have taken over easily. They have taken over South Sea. They have taken over some of these places, and they cannot go back because some of them, by naturalization, are now Kenyans. They gave birth, wako na watoto. They are now Kenyan. They are citizens of Kenya. So opening the borders and is a good thing for people to come to your country and all that. But most of the countries in Europe are closing their borders to foreigners. You see also what is happening in Britain. In Britain, they don't want people. They don't want foreigners in their country. Here in America, they are going to for an election. What is the biggest issues Republicans are putting on the table? They are putting the issue of immigration. And that is the main issue that resonates well among the white community and most Americans, that they don't want people coming to their country. So that is the main issue, that if you run around with, people will vote for you because they don't want foreigners here. But here we have a president who is saying, you go to America. Go to America. And Donald Trump is saying, we are deporting all of you back to your country. So not making sense.
I can see Gibson gonna say that Germans can't even stand British, leave alone Africans, because I know that the Germans have a lot of cases of discrimination. I was also saying that what do you gain from criticizing government securing jobs outside the country, and also saying that we have Mary Wanaina saying that she always criticizes the government. I also think that we should not discourage Kenyans from working outside the countries, that is outside the country. That is jealous. Is it jealousy? Mzalendo, Ruto is your top man. You should talk and help. You should help him to talk because he doesn't listen. Sometimes I was saying that sometimes I wonder why panelists somewhere are against working outside the country. So I think I will sometimes disagree with what a president is doing. Does it mean that we don't have opportunities? The same way Mzalendo was explaining about industry, that we have industries that are dominated by overseas countries. But when it comes to our country, like some Mumias, those are the industries that are from our country, Kenya. We don't have those industries. They are just countless. So we should just make sure that those industries are back. As those industries just start producing these minerals, for example, if it's mining, if it's provision of
Boni, can I say something very, very quick to Awesome? There is something called brain drain. When you are exporting health workers to the US, then you don't have enough. You'll not have enough nurses or doctors, especially nurses in Kenya. That is called brain drain. You are taking your best out of your country to work in another country. And remember, these people are vetted, and those governments that they are going to, they want the best. They are not just taking anybody. They're not taking anybody. If you're coming to the US as a nurse, you have to pass a particular exam. So you cannot just walk in here. You have to pass a particular exam so that you become a nurse or a citizen here. So the brain drain is something that is going to affect Kenya in the long run. You might not see it right now, and there's a lot. There's a lot. I look at Kenyans who are working in the Middle East. Are they comfortably working in the Middle East? Are we jealous of those Kenyans who are working in the Middle East? Do you feel some pain on what they go through in the Middle East? Is the government addressing the issue of the Middle East? Before we even start exporting workers to the Middle East, there's already an issue in the Middle East that is there in the public domain, that the government at one point or a minister has come to a rescue of Kenyans in the Middle East. Is there a policy document that you have seen that now we are going to work with the UAE to bring workers to the Middle East, and this is the contract, this is the pay, and this is how they should be treated, and they will be under the Kenyan government, the UAE government. Have you ever seen any kind of document? Now Ruto came from Germany the other day. We need to see those documents of the signing in and saying, this is the jobs that we have secured for you, and this is the agreement. We just see them signing papers, but we don't know what it is and in what sector these jobs are. But again, there is a lot. So many families are hurting out there because of these foreign jobs, especially people who are working in the Middle East. Now we also have Kenyans who are refugees in Canada, Kenyans who are working in brothels in India. So these things we need to work around them and understand whether they are good for us. Zalendo, one question you have to ask yourself is, are they better off working out there than remaining back at home? Yes, this is a very, very good question. The reason why they left the country is because the government cannot offer them any opportunity. That is an ineffective government. It means that the government is not capable of creating opportunity for its people. When you run for office, like William Ruto ran for office, he never said one thing. He never said that I will not create employment for you, but instead I will go to Tanzania to look for opportunities in Tanzania for you Kenyans, so that you can work in Tanzania. In my country, I don't have any opportunities for you. It is like sending your children to your neighbor's house to go and feed there because you don't have food for them. All right, it is just simple. That is the simplest analysis. You send them out there. When they are full, they come for holiday in your house. So is that a good relationship with your children? Awesome.
Awesome. That is the question. Awesome. Also, it says that Gibson says that, but awesome when you are in that is SCT, your character changes to black, whereby you do a grand job by playing to the realities. That is a comment section there. Remember to always follow us through the comment section there. Tell us where you're following the conversation, and you share your views. We shall be reading them here in Freak 24. Of course, another story that was trending today is that workers' education is in a total mess. Workers are still complaining that education is not paying them. Does it mean that in the next 10 years we will not be having education in country Kenya? Because people are criticizing education in this country.
The government has failed to listen to the staff for far too long. So the only language they hear is the strike that today we are officially launching. And the issues are stated by our national leaders, cuts across several universities. The issues about the non-implementation of CBA of 2021-2025. Secondly, there are promotions that have dragged for several years. While the government tried to cushion other civil servants from the high taxation, they ignored the university staff. We are not children of a lesser God. So that is why today the staffs of the university you are seeing here are very bitter. And we urge the government that if indeed they care about these students who are under our care, they listen to the union officials as early as today, because as we are prepared, even if the world will come to an end before they call off the strike, we are ready to go full swing.
There have been over 10 negotiation meetings between our union and other parties, social partners, including vice chancellors, including the Ministry of Education, including SRC and the Treasury. They have not given us any offer. The only language they want to understand is what we are resorting to. It is provided for in our constitution that we have a right to fair labor practices. We have a right to go on strike when issues are not addressed. When issues are not addressed, this is our last resort. Colleagues, we shall be on strike until such a time we have a CBA. Those are the clear instructions that we must follow. It is affecting 38 public universities. All universities are now on strike. There will be total shutdown by Friday, I imagine, in all public universities because of the issues that have not been addressed.
Sisi kama wafanyikazi wa chuo kikuu cha Pwani tumeanzisha mgomo huu. Na mgomo huu kusudi na madhumuni yetu ni kwamba tunataka haki yetu. Kutoka mwaka 2018 ndio tulipata mshahara, ongezo la mshahara. Mpaka sasa ni miaka 7. Mtoto aliyezaliwa wakati huo sasa yuko grade 3. Anasomeshwa na nini? Ni kilio chetu kwa serikali hii kwa sababu umezaa watoto wawili. Civil servant, public servant. Civil servant ni mtoto wa servant, anapewa 10%. Public servant yeye ni mtoto wa servant bado anapewa 0%. Hii ni haki? Hapana. Hii ni haki? Hapana. Haki yetu tunataka isikike. Yes. Solidarity. Forever. Kwa hivyo tunasema mgomo utaendelea mpaka tupewe haki yetu. Yes. Solidarity. Forever. Tukiitwa taitika, tukiitwa taitika, tukiitwa taitika, tutafanya kazi ya chama.
Those are workers in Pwani University saying that they have not been paid for a long time, and also saying that since 2018 they have not been added salary. Zaledo, what is your take about education system in the country Kenya? As you know that we have the new university funding model that has never favored the common mwananchi. It is only favoring the rich people. Does it mean that education is going down, and does it mean that our education will just be poor and people will just not be bothering with education? Because what is happening now?
Hello, Bonnie. Can you hear me now? Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, you see, the university strikes in Kenya. One, you need to understand that that body is called what? It's called UASU, University Academic Staff Union. They negotiated with the Kenyan government between the year 2021 to 2025 on a CBA. CBA simply means they bargained on an agreement, and it seems that the money has been delayed due to maybe insufficient funds or lack of commitment by the government. I remember the same thing happened to the doctors. They negotiated with the government. They came up, signed documents. The strikes were called off, and the government went to sleep and forgot that these guys are really, really serious about what they mean. So the universities will still go on strike. Their demand is genuine. As we always say, ni haki yao. So we expect them to be out there every other day, demanding what they negotiated with the government. And this is the government of Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto. So they need to, the ministry needs to follow up, Ministry of Education and Treasury need to follow up so that these teachers are paid whatever is owed to them. Otherwise, learning will be paralyzed. So that is my take on the particular issue. Bonnie, you are mute. Your mic is on mute.
Saying that also saying that every country uses its available resources. We have human resources since we have allocated the highest amount of money on education. So what's wrong with sending them out to work? That was about work. So he's saying that I have changed. That is good here being addressed by Awesome. I have remained consistent.
Hey, Bonnie, what is wrong with you?
I think my network is having some problem. Saying that this job is very important for Kenyans. That is, if Raila joins and becomes the AU chairmanship, awesome. Raila trying for AU chair is not going to give Kenya any advantage, and Raila is not going anywhere because he's going to join Ruto on huge position created for him. How is this going to happen? And Raila is ready to join AU chairmanship come next year. How is this going to happen? Awesome, you can expand on that so that you can know Raila might get that position. If he gets that position, what is the next opposition? So of course we have Babu Wino. Babu Wino, and of course, is one of the leaders who has been criticizing the government, saying that he will march with the common mwananchi so that he can reject the new uh, funding model, and also we have the health sector whereby things are not in the right order. So Babu Wino spoke, and he gave us some of the sentiments about Ruto government. He has been rejecting Ruto government, and as the other leaders joined the broad-based government, Babu Wino and Edwin Sifuna, they have remained firm. Au huwezi ukawatingisha.
Thank you very much, fellow Kenyans. I want to take this opportunity to address the NSSF land question within Embakasi ward in Embakasi East constituency. Number one, I want to strongly demand from NSSF to release different title deeds to the residents of Embakasi East constituency in Tasia and in Nyayo Estate. These parcels of land have been registered and their title deeds are still stuck at NSSF. Monies have been paid to NSSF, but NSSF has still up to date refused, or rather delayed, to release title deeds to my constituents. And therefore I demand, and if you don't release these title deeds, I will have no option but to organize for a march to NSSF offices where my constituents in Nyayo Estate, my constituents within Tasia will come to your office, march to your office to demand for their title deeds. Secondly, any parcel of land that was allocated for a school, for a church, for a hospital, or any public utility, be it playground for our children, those parcels of land must be preserved. Those parcels of land must never be touched. Those are parcels of land that are meant for public consumption, and therefore they should be left as a public utility without any interference. As a member of parliament, I am demanding that such parcels of land be specifically retained for those specific duties, or rather the roles. I will construct several schools within Embakasi's constituency. Right now we are doing Donholm Secondary School. It's ongoing. I'm just awaiting its completion. Then after that, there's a primary school that we're going to construct in Tasia. We have already allocated a parcel of land that we are going to do a public primary school, plot number 3334 within Tasia. Thank you very much, my people, and I love you all. God bless you. Thank you.
But then we have a new funding model that is happening, and also we are moving from NHIF. Zalendo, do you have NHIF in USA? And do you support that we will moving from NHIF?
Your camera is not on. It's distracting me. We don't have NHIF here, but we have Obamacare, and we have got Medicaid. So that should be an equivalent of NHIF, so it is accessible to everybody who wants insurance provision, and you pay nothing for it. You pay nothing for it, and that is one area in the health sector where the American government is really trying to work so hard so that the citizen can get some affordable health care in America. So we don't really have that NHIF in the US, but we have things which are similar. We have people going for private policies in here in the US. Some people don't want to be in Obamacare, so that is also another contentious issue in these coming elections. So the health insurance, we've got American Rescue Plan, things like that. That is an health insurance firm that is providing health care for people who can afford Medicaid, and we have also child health insurance. These are for low individuals who have got low income. So Medicaid is meant for people who have got low income here in America and cannot afford health care. They are the ones who go for Medicaid. So there are other plans that you pay for. Remember, healthcare here in the US is one of the most expensive things. It is very, 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 very expensive. So when you don't have insurance here, you'll be given a card, a Medicaid card, by the federal government. So it is a state program for low-income people. Children can use it, pregnant women can use it, the elderly, people living with disability. So that is it, and you can access all the hospitals. You can go to any government or private hospital and be treated with your Medicare. So yeah, it is working, and it is helping families who cannot afford insurance. So that is what is happening here in the US. Yes, Bonnie.
I've listened to some of people saying that Kenya, we are going to have different things that are introduced by this government, because others are saying that this new system is not favoring the common mwananchi. Does it mean that William Ruto was just lying to Kenyans when he was campaigning, saying that he will be favoring the Mama Boga? But now, the systems that is being introduced in this country, they are going to make mwananchi to be as poor as a street boy there in Nairobi.
Mary, is your camera is off, Bonnie, and I'm in
Zalando,
a
I've
position.
sent a message there. I've lost power. I'm using.
Stima ya kawaida imepotea. Okay. Ideally, what was your question again?
I'm asking. We have this Mama Boga, who was the main topic during Ruto's campaign. But you see, things that are being introduced in this country, they are milking the small amount of money that Mama Boga gets. This government does not bother whether Mama Boga is going to strain or not. They're just introducing things that are highly costly and the Mama Boga will not afford. What is the take
what
about
what
Ruto's
what is happening?
consideration
If
to Mama
you
Boga?
have seen, maybe this is how I look at it. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think Ruto is in a panic mode. He's really in a panic mode. He's starting everything to impress the voters in Kenya. He's doing all he can to try and impress voters. There is nothing in particular that is working for him right now. I don't know whether the issue of housing is going to come through for him. That would have been a very, very big plus if he's able to get all those units that he had promised and deliver it to Mama Mboga. That would be something very, very good. So the issue of housing, if you people are in Kenya there, you need to tell us whether the issue of housing is really taking shape in Kenya. So some of these development projects that is initiating, I think they're in panic mode, and time for election is nearing. He doesn't have a clear plan of how he's going to implement all these projects that he's starting. He would rather now export labor, which is again being criticized by the civil society. And of course, it is going to mean that you are taking out the best in your country to serve in other places. If it is farm workers, I've given you an example that there is a lot of semi-arid land in Kenya that is not tilted. We don't have food security in Kenya, for example. He needs to make sure that that land is productive. So there'll be a lot of excuses in 2027, but Ruto needs to act. He needs to act. For people who, like me, who supported him during his time, I think he needs to do something. He needs people who are telling him the truth that all is not well. Even if you have Raila on your fold, Raila is on his way out. He's on his way out, and he will not. He will not. He will not be around for a while. He'll not be around for a while. So that is what is happening in Kenya. So Boni, are you still there?
Yes, I'm still here, but I have sent a message there. I hope you have
Yeah,
seen it.
continue until you go off, my friend. Mhm.
My laptop is almost dying. But anyway, there is this Mama Boga I was talking to earlier today, and she didn't know whether I was trying to get information from her, and she was just saying that this government just came to get money from the common mwananchi. This was vice versa. You know, they were saying that they will support the common mwananchi, but now it is a vice versa. Like they want now to get all the money from the common mwananchi. They want to torment the common mwananchi until the common mwananchi is no more there, so that the rich will remain in this country. That is what that mama told me. And I just asked, what do you think is going to happen in 2027? Saying that in 2027, things are going to be tough. Things are going to be tough, and they are going to vote for their own president. So I asked her, who is your president come 2027? She said that she doesn't have any president. She doesn't see anyone who can qualify for president after Raila just exited the local politics. I just asked her about what about Kalonzo. She told me that Kalonzo will sleep during election, and that is where she will lose the election.
Kalonzo?
Will sleep during the election, and she will finally lose the elections. So she doesn't have any political supporter for 2027.
Yeah,
Do you think
I
Kalonzo
mean,
will?
do I think Kalonzo will do what?
Do you think Kalonzo will win the election in 2027?
There's a lot that he needs to do. Kalonzo seems not to understand the game, and the game is becoming more complicated by the day. Ruto is a master in this game. For them, those who are in the opposition, to beat William Ruto, they have to have some issues, some real issues that they are going to come up with. Kenya, you see, even right now, there is so much that they can fight the government of William Ruto, but he's there. He's just quiet. He's just quiet. Uh, Not everybody can be in government the way the structures of government are. Right now, Ruto has already formed his Nyanza alliance, which he hopes that he will clip the people of Western and fold Nyanza together to vote for him in 2027. And that is already there because with the absence of Baba in the ticket, I don't see Raila Odinga running for presidency in 2027. He will be probably 84 or something. Now he has left his political party for an 80-year-old man by the name Professor Nyang'yong. Nyang'yong is just a figurehead there, but the main thing is that the party is already under William Ruto. William Ruto is the one who is going to dictate what happens in the ODM party in future as we move forward when it comes to elections and all that. Because at the end of the day, if he secures the job for one Raila Odinga will not go against him in 2027. His government has invested a lot of money to ensure that Raila Odinga wins the AUC seat. So Nyanza is out of question, but again, there are disgruntled members within the Orange Democratic Movement. People like Babu Owino. I know Orengo is silent, but he's not happy with the way things are being run by Raila Odinga in the party. Many people are not aware of the decisions that the party leader makes, and we see them in press conferences. People who support ODM are saying that this is some things that we just see on a press conference, that somebody has been appointed, somebody has been, and the reason why they are doing this is because they want to make sure that there are not so many people in this process. They will not hurt so many people. Because if they do a free and fair election, there'll be disgruntled members, and the communities or the places where they're conducting these elections, they might elect somebody who is different from what the party leader intends is is the membership or people who are allied to him to look like. But that is what happens in most of the political parties in Kenya. They are dictated by either Kalonzo, William Ruto, and now Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. They dictate who becomes what in the party. So if they don't like you, they'll kick you out. The parties are not for the people, but they are vehicles that push you to power or give you that bargaining chip that you can bargain with the government of the day. So that is what I see in the politics. I have lost Boni, but tutachapa tu show kama kawaida. Inakaa stima in Kenya is still a problem, despite bringing the best to solve the issue of power in Kenya, but we still have blackouts. So one of the worst amepoteza stima, na tutaendelea na Gypsy Corner kule. Gypsy Awesome Thank you to see you guys. Thanks. See you guys in still on the corner section. I've been out for a while, but we are back even much better with better shows. That's what I've been organizing on the background so that we come up better, well prepared and committed to serve our country and talk about the issues that that affect our people. A lot has been said in the political scene in Kenya. Just the other day, I saw the AIG coming out very strongly with something I thought that is so uncalled for. So if you didn't watch this, maybe I can play it for you. Again, this is something that the AIG ought not to have done. Yeah, because I saw it and I thought that we need to play it so that no. Yeah, I need to play for you this video so that good evening, wherever you are. This is Africa News Update. Kenya Police IG sentenced to 6 months in prison. Wow, that is really big news. In a shocking turn of events, the Inspector General of Police in Kenya has been sentenced to 6 months in prison for disobeying court orders. Once again, the judiciary did a very good job. They are now holding the IG responsible for not attending court summons, and is going to face a 6 months jail if it's going to be executed by his boss, who is Kutura Kindiki. So following this, he swiftly withdrew the security details of the judge who had handed him the sentence. You can imagine he was handed the sentence by the same judge. Now, within 24 hours, he's out there on a press conference saying that, this is a normal police procedure, the usual crap. And we Kenyans buy it because we are also some idiots out there. Now, following this, he swiftly withdrew the security details of the judge who handed down the sentence. This move has raised, of course, eyebrows like people like me, has sparked a heated debate about the integrity and accountability of the police force.
Gilbert Masengeli is sentenced to 6 months imprisonment. Mr. Masengeli is ordered to submit himself to the Commissioner General of Kenya Prisons to ensure that he is to be committed to a prison facility to commence serving sentence of the imprisonment imposed. In the event that he does not submit himself to the Commissioner General of Prison Service as ordered, the Cabinet Secretary for the National Interior must take all steps that are necessary and permissible in law to ensure Mr. Gilbert Masengeli is committed to prison to commence serving the sentence imposed on him.
The regional traffic officers, because of the increased traffic accidents across the country, and that is the reason which we have convened for a consultative meeting with the traffic officers and also address the road carnage issues, corruption in traffic police unit, also to ensure that we have a way forward to ensure that we reduce and address the road carnage, losing of life on our roads across the country that has been on the increase in the recent past. On the alleged intimidation of the Honorable Justice Lawrence Mukambi, I would like to say that contrary to the allegation by the Judicial Service Commission yesterday that the security details assigned to the Honorable Justice Mukambi has been thrown to intimidate the judge, we wish to clarify that allegations were ill-intended. The National Police Service plays a critical role in the national security. of our
police
country.
force. Now, adding to the controversy, the IG appears in a press conference now addressing the tragic road accidents, which is his duty. We recommend you for that, for coming out telling us that there has been some road accidents and not knowing even the number of people who have died on the road carnage. You come out very, very unprepared for a press briefings. You don't even know how many people have died so far and which roads are you talking about, and who are the officers manning these particular roads. Why haven't they been held accountable? Yeah, because each and every day the officers getting out of the police station to man particular roads in Kenya, and it is a routine. You always see the same officers on the same roads. Why can't you hold all those officers who are under you accountable for the accidents that are happening on those roads? Now, however, many are asking questions of his ability to enforce the law and order, especially the Meru-Nairobi highway. Now, Bwana IG, Bwana Acting IG, take a drive to the Meru-Nairobi highway today and see how those trucks are being driven, those pickups that carry miraa to Nairobi. Tell us if that is your normal speed on the roads. Tell us if it is risky. Tell us if it is something that can be avoided. Tell us what you have done about it. Tell us who are the officers manning those roads. Tell us how much money that they are paying in order to drive at that particular speed, which that road has killed so many of the same drivers and pedestrians who are walking by the side of the road. So critics argue that the IG is failing to protect the people and is instead serving the interest of the government. Now, the mainstream media, the KTN, the Citizen, the Nations, and blah blah, the TV 47, those big stations that cannot press the IG on critical issues such as abductions, killings, and the disturbing rumors of the Nyeri fire, babies, children who are missing. You've heard it in many quarters, but there's no proper investigation that is going on. There's no briefing. I wish, when AIG, you could be coming out telling us the conditions of the children who have been taken to the hospital, or the doctor in that case coming out each and every time telling us and briefing us of the conditions of the children who are admitted in the hospital. Now, the AIG is doing a terrible job.
All we're asking for is the rule of law. There are criminals everywhere. We have criminals in northern Kenya, be they drug dealers, sympathizers of Al-Shabaab, all kinds of criminals are there. But an MCA, a leader, who has been abducted for weeks, cannot be missing. If he's a criminal and there is sufficient evidence to pin him down, we request the government to bring him to the courts of law so that he can face justice. But he can't be missing a leader. If he's missing tomorrow, I'll be missing. I'm equally a leader. So we want the rule of law and the criminal justice system to be functional, to convince all Kenyans that we have a reliable, dependable justice system.
In my opinion, he's doing a very terrible job, and it's disturbing. This lack of scrutiny has left some of us feeling frustrated, very, very frustrated. Now, viewers out there, what is your thought on this situation? Do you believe the police force is working for the people or the government of the day? Let us know your comments below. Put your comments and let us be the eyes of the people. Let us be the watchdog. Let us be the people who are going to put the IG and the police force to act on some of these issues. Otherwise, thank you for watching. I leave you with a clip of the IG and his press conference. Seemingly, he doesn't really know what is happening in the country. He needs to come back. Maybe he's somewhere in Tanzania, Uganda, or Zanzibar. Come back and know what is happening. You have the solutions, but you don't want to act. Please act or resign. Ideally, you ought to resign. Thank you. Well, that was earlier on. We saw the IG being summoned. I don't know whether he's going to honor those summons. And just as Osama stated in the comment section that Zalendo, this is not the first time we've seen the courts in Kenya handing over sentence to a prominent. We've seen we've seen them, we've seen these sentences, but I wish they could be coming, many of them, and I wish they could be executed to the fullest, so that the laws cut across everybody, not that the laws cut. There's a set of laws for the poor, and then there is another set of the laws for the rich. So these laws need to cut across so that we feel the impact of the laws. Having said that, guys, remember to subscribe if you're watching from a different platform. Make sure that you subscribe to Afrique, because you make us come here each and every day to give you this analysis. Make sure you subscribe to Afrique. Make sure you invite your friends to Afrique. We have got so many other shows which are coming up. We have got Mzalendo Uncensored. I gave you just a sneak preview of what to expect in the kind of programming, but we want well-structured discussion. We'll be having a bigger panel, people we have not seen in other channels. We will invite them here to have a good discussion and to tell us what they feel about our country, Kenya. And it's not only politics that we'll be talking about throughout the year. We'll be talking about business, we'll be talking about social life, we'll be talking about innovation, we'll be talking about education, we'll be talking about the health sector, things to expect on Afrique in the near future. So stay tuned, inform a friend to tell another friend that this is the only place that you will get comprehensive news coverage. Gypsy Corner, I'm working on consistency. I've not yet gotten a host who is going to be consistent on this particular program. If you have got somebody in mind out there who wants to be a host on Afrique, please make sure that you send us an email. Send us an email, because of timing and all that differences. And the only one who is now committed to doing the show. We need somebody else who will be here permanently to do the show. Gypsy Corner, you are a partner of Afrique. I need you to pass the information around. Tell them to come to Afrique so that we can have the conversation. Please. Awesome can make a good host. I have not even known who Awesome is. Awesome has decided to be not to appear on the screen. I actually, if you ask me, Do I know who Awesome is? I don't know. I only see him on the comment section. But you see, Awesome, we need you up here. We need you up here every day doing the shows. And Black, Black stroke Awesome. Yeah, Black, I think Black is also very good. But to see now the commitment of Black, Black cannot be found. Sometimes he'll be there. He has got the same problems with like myself. We need somebody who is available permanently so that at this time we are able to join them in the show Diaspora Time, because of our timing is so different. So awesome, please, I need you have been approved by by the major stakeholder in Africa. Gypsy, please pass the email. Here's my email. Well, let me type my email address there, so that anybody, if you know anybody there who can be a very good host on Africa, please give them this email. Tell them to contact me very soon. This could be a very eye opener to so many things that you don't know. My email is africd24hours at gmail.com. I'll put my email there. At gmail.com. Plus, I'm giving you an extra. Let me give you my phone number. Guys, nimewapatia kila kitu sasa leo. If you think you are a good presenter, of course, better than me, better than me, I'm the worst that is available. You must be better than me. Email africd24hours at gmail.com. And you can call me, nitumie text on WhatsApp on 54+1 540 940 1197. I will answer your call. So please, we need I need a presenter to be presenting this evening show that runs between Kenyan time, between 9 to probably midnight, and then we join you from there. Gypsy Corner, please be on the lookout. Pass the message around if you think there is somebody who's out there who can be a good host for this particular show. Let them come on board. No one is better than you, and it's only your time keeping. No. Let me tell you one thing. The timing is terrible because of work and all that. I've been engaged throughout for the last. Been engaged towards the end of summer, so I've been very busy. So, guys, we need to make this show happen. We need to make it work. And the few times that you see me sneaking in and coming up with a program is because we don't want the show to die. And it will die because we don't have somebody who can come in and step in. The gentleman that we had is seemingly having network problems, but we need consistency. We need somebody with a lot of passion in what they are doing. And of course, we'll reward you if you have got that kind of passion. So Gypsy Corner, I know this is a part-time job. It cannot be a full-time job for anyone. So you come around, we will teach you a lot of stuff in media, and you will not regret being part of this wonderful team. And of course, if you have a friend also who wants to be on the panel session, please, if you have a friend who also wants to be part of this team, please, those are my email addresses, and that is my personal contact. Just get in touch. I will definitely try and we work out something. So, Leo has been an immigrant migrating from one place. He is currently in Somalia. So, and the place that he is having does not have network, but he promised to settle down very soon. But we need somebody on standby, just in case Leo is not available or myself I'm not available, then they can always step in and do the show. Otherwise, I'll be dedicating all the time to Afrique. And sometimes I know Gypsy, you have been a fan for Afrique for the longest time. You are not just a fan, but a stakeholder. You need to find these people so that we make sure that Kenyan people get quality. This is the only time that you do service for your country, not like a soldier, but as a good citizen that wants good governance, wants accountability and transparency within government. That is why we have Afrique here bringing you a very balanced show. If you've got something that you want to talk about and you are out there and you don't have the platform, you come, we will partner. I am a very open person. We'll partner, we'll talk, and ensure that you become part of this wonderful team. Zalendo, we are thinking you, Kenya Rebel and BM working together. Yeah, that is a dream that that is worth chasing. It's a dream that we need to really come up and start working together, because we are doing the same thing, and it's just a matter of sending the signals to all those platforms, and we maintain our viewers. So that is something that Gypsy Corner, I think it is something that you can start floating around. We can have our first meeting. I will try and reach out to Kenya Rebel. But the other time I tried to reach out at Kenya Rebel, he told me that his content is very radical. His content is very radical now. But I told him, okay, we don't care that whether it's radical or not. But Ben is open. We can do a show with Ben, Kenya Rebel, and all that. So it's just planning. I'll reach out to Ben, and then we'll have Kenya Rebel also coming on board. We want the shows to just be the three of us, so that we run them at different times. So even if we have one live on this day, then the other we will have it on the other day. You are wondering, he told me the shows are very radical. He wants to be radicalized shows and radicalized platform. So yeah, sometimes that is the kind of message that people want to pass around, so that Kugong and Dipo, let them be who they are. But again, I said the internet is a market that is open to everybody else. It depends on the kind of content that you want your consumers to have. But we have been trying our best to give you the content that is moderated, the content that is good, the content that is informative, and the content that is well researched. And you, with time, you realize that what we say here is what the government actually does, or what we say in this particular forum is what will happen in the near future. So we can predict the nature of politics. Like right now, I am telling you, we have already predicted the nature of the politics in 2027. Ruto will still sneak in narrowly in 2027, but we might have a new opposition leader in coming in 2027. 2032, things will, of course, be much better for the Kenyan people. We will be able now to select leaders of our choice, because these leaders, they think they are permanent. They're not. They're permanent. They are seasonal. This is their season. Uh, the Raila season is ending, but unfortunately, each and every time their season is ending, they want to also recruit players for us. Yeah. Oh, oh, they wanted me there. Oh, yeah. I will come. I have got no issue on Sound Candid. They are my brothers. They are following another trajectory in politics. We have got no issues, but our ideologies are a bit different. We look at things in a positive way. We look at we criticize where we are able to criticize. We are not sycophants. We don't follow just that psychopathic kind of tendency that dictators have. They dictate who is going to be who in political movements, and all of us have to think in that direction. We don't want a country like that. We want a country where we have got people who are independent in their thought. So independent in your thought means that you can make your own decision as a person, other than having these competing ideas that politicians are selling each and every day to give you some kind of worry that everything is not all right until I become the leader. So that is what we don't want. And I hope, Gypsy, if you allow me, I will go to Sound Candid one of these fine days and you'll see me there. That is if you allow me. Some of us have not been very passionate about going to the other platform, but it is a good source of passing information too. I believe they lost the war, we won the war. We are all Kenyans, we love our country. It is only that our policies are different. So I will try and make it to that particular program. Maybe today don't be surprised to see me there. Otherwise, guys, Gypsy, you gonna homework. Make sure we get these people on board. People who can present. Ideally, if you can edit, then that is also a very big plus for me. Otherwise, guys, thank you very much for giving me company. I didn't intend to stay for long in this particular show this evening, but kama kawaida, you don't disappoint. When we start these shows, they never end. They never end. You can try. They are forgiving. No. It's no. Yeah, I forgave them a long time ago, and they realized that whatever they were chasing is whatever I was telling them is now the truth. But again, if I go there, the animosity will still come back. But me, it is politics. It is politics. All they have to know is that the politician does not care about them. The politician does not care about them. They care about themselves first. You come second. So this time round, we need to take care of ourselves first. Then the politician comes second. Otherwise, thank you guys and adios.